Let us discuss something about consumer behavior. In marketing, the very definition says that understanding the needs or the expectations of the consumer is very, very vital. If that is not going to happen, marketing doesn't happen. If that is not going to happen, repeated business will never happen. So, what actually the consumer behavior does? What actually the consumer behavior intends to do? It is not the matching between supply and the demand. It is understanding the real need of the customers, and we have to fulfill them. We have to ensure them that they are satisfied with their expected benefits. How it can be done? Why it should be done? Is it necessary? Of course, it is necessary because of immense competition. Earlier days, there were no competition. The understanding or the respect given to the consumer was not seen as that of importance what we do now. But now, due to competition, we have to take and see every consumer as a vital point of our business. Satisfying the every individual is more important. How we can satisfy? Don't serve just a food and ask them to eat. You serve the food what actually they want. Then there may be a chance of satisfying the consumers. One company or one brand cannot satisfy all the consumers because we have different types of consumers, different levels of consumers. Their demographic factors change, their level of income change, they have different expectations, they live in different parts of the world, they live in rural places, they live in urban places. So the matching the needs of the consumer is a real challenge. How it can be done? The basic need of consumer behavior study is to understand consumers, what really they want, what really they expect, why it should be done, how it can be done. So for any company, they have to understand who is their target consumers. For example, if you are doing a business of a car, you should know who are all your target consumers. How can you reach them? How can you approach them? Again, if you go for car segment, you have different variants. You have different priced variants, because I have to satisfy all the category of the people, right from low income people to the more income people, right from the need expected people to the pleasure expected people. You have different types of category of consumers. We have to classify. How this classification is done? That is after understanding the behavior of the consumers. For example, if you take a coffee powder, you have different sizes and varieties of coffee powder. Why we have to come out with different sizes and variety? Because we have different needs, we have different types of people. We have to understand what brand, what taste actually satisfy the needs of the consumers. And to understand that, we have to go for a study called consumer behavior. So the main objective of consumer behavior would be find the real customer with their real need or with their real expectations. This is obviously done, initially we'll go for survey. We understand how the people are perceiving the market, how the people are understanding and perceiving the real need, what actually they want. Can I able to deliver and satisfy them with the expectation what they actually desire? So to understand this study is done. So very simple, consumer behavior is done to understand who are all the target consumers and how to satisfy them. Why? How? That is the question here. So the basic understanding of the consumer behavior says that this is a study which involves about an individual or a group or an organization, how they take the decision for a purchase, how they take a decision for the disposal. individual can take a decision. Suppose if I want to go and buy a pen, I can do. A school can buy pens. A company can buy pens. For example, an activity comes, a group of students have to gather and do an assignment. They can go for purchase of some needs. So any decision making with regard to purchase happens in three ways. One is individual, the other one is group, the other one is organization as such. For example, if you go for buyers, you can call it as individual buyer, group buyers, or organization or institutional buyers. So this study revolves around these practices. How an individual take a decision in ending up buying a benefit. How a group take a decision in deciding their expectations. How an organization or institution decides on what thing is good or what thing is bad. Suppose, for example, if an institution wants to buy an online system which involves a set of hardwares, which brand, which company they have to go, that they have to decide. So they have a set of purchasing procedures. They go, sit, talk, they discuss, they come out with a decision. Again group, they sit, discuss and come out with a decision. Again individual, take a idea from different sources of information. For example, my friend may use something, the television advertisement may talk something, my newspaper advertisement may tell something, I can see something. So how this decision happens, the aspects of those factors which make them to decide on a particular decision towards the seeking of the benefits is called a study of consumer behavior. It is, after all, how they purchase and how they dispose the benefits. Dispose means how to use and how they end up in using. For example, if I buy a bottle of drinking water, how I dispose the bottle. If I buy a packet of coffee powder, how I use it. Disposal is not only throwing it away, it is how it is used. So this is the basic definition or understanding or the meaning of the study what we are intent to do in consumer behavior. The reason for why I told you already, it is to know the likes and dislikes. What they like, what they don't like. I have to be very careful. I can't give a product which is not at all interest of the customer. I have to give a benefit in such a way that every aspect of the benefit is liked by the customer. And that is the way it can be done. That is the reason why consumer behavior study is done. So as I told you already, every behavior is undergoing a process. Everything is undergoing a process. How this process can be studied. Later in the part of consumer behavior, we have different models. We will discuss it later. But still, before going for that discussion of different models, let us understand how a normal consumer goes for a process. A consumer goes for information search. A consumer perceives the information what they want, what they intend to buy. Search for the different set of choices and again go into the mind, do some calculations, whether the cost aspect, whether the value aspect, whether the lifetime aspect, delivery aspect, after sales service aspect. So these things go into the mind and think, that is called as cognition. Then you arrange the different choices in the name of preferences, in the order of preferences. A, priced more, B, priced less, whereas A is of more quality, B is of less quality. What I can do, there is a different set of combinations, some type of matrix I have to calculate, and I have to come out with an order of preferences. And finally I go for the selection of the preference, which preference I can go, and that affects in landing up of a decision, which type of preference I can select. And later I go for the inquiry of the product or inquiry of the preferences, start using the preferences. Now my behavior towards the preference what I have selected cultivates the beliefs, and this is the way how a normal procedure of consumer buyer behavior happens. Consumer behavior happens. How a consumer enters into deciding a benefit. First, they search for the informations which need I have to get myself satisfied, which expectation I have. Suppose if I want to buy a laptop, I have different types of brands. I search for those informations. I consider with my friends. I consult with my relatives, whatever you call. Those informations are ordered with the different types of opinions. You just go for different types of perceptions, then restrict the choices. Now we go for different types of assessment on the basis of value, cost, delivery, whatever I told you. Now you order the preference, decide the preference what you want, and those preferences are landing up with the decisions. This is a simple procedure which is being accepted as every consumer is undergoing before landing up of taking any decisions as far as buying of products or deciding of benefits, what we call. To quote or to understand very briefly, I have taken example of a Diwali festival, a well-known Indian festival everybody knows in India or in Asia or all over the world. For example, during the season of Diwali, what would be the real need? Almost all types of products provide offers, all types of brands coming out with offers during a festive season. Since Diwali is highly celebrated, more population that celebrates Diwali, maximum number of companies give many types of promotional offers. Why they have to give offers? They have to seek the attention of the customers. Number one. Number two, it is not only seeking the attention of customers, whether this customer is really in need of this offer. We have to understand. We can't simply give X plus Y is equal to Z. This is the offer, please buy. No, it is not. It will not happen. We have to undergo a study whether this combination of offer may work out or not. For example, you buy 2 kg of sweets and get half kg of sweet free. Buy 2 pants, 1 shirt free. Or buy with the value of 3000, get 500 voucher. So these could be some of the offers that may satisfy the need of the customer. And if that is going to get a hit, then that's all. You are ensuring repeat purchase every year, or you are going to ensure repeat purchase every festive season. Because a friend who celebrated Diwali may refer to a friend who is going to celebrate a Christmas. Then repeat purchase happen, and this is how loyalty develops, and this is how loyalty continues, and this is how loyalty cultivates, and this is how it is happening as far as consumer behavior is concerned. This is very simple simple example to understand how or why a consumer behavior is done. So Diwali, you take it as a reference, as a festive season. What offer I can come out, what best thing I can give, what best thing I can give them to ensure repeat purchase for continuous festive seasons. Every repeat purchase, not only during repeat purchase during festive seasons, they can also go for repeat purchase during their normal seasons also. So can I able to come out with a concept in such a way that the satisfaction of need can be done, the satisfaction of the expectation can be done, and this is done after carrying out a proper survey, after carrying out a proper understanding. For example, what happened last year, what was the season, what was the offers I provided, what was the products I delivered, whether I got a success in that concept or not. If I have able to come out with the concept which I got succeeded in the previous year, I can continue in this year. If I have failed something in the previous year, I can do some alterations and to understand what was the reason of the failure, and those reasons has to be supplemented with the correct successful reasons, and now you can come out with a successful business. So why it is done? I have to reduce the dissonance. Don't make the consumers go in a dissonant mode. So dissonance, what will happen? It will, just they will, move from your brand. They will slowly get away from your brand. So in order to avoid the reduction of the dissonance, I first understand the expectation, then I go for my business. Thank you. We'll discuss more in upcoming slides.